Welcome back, Tim Henman, for British Eurosport fans and all his fans. Exciting moments. A set and a break up against Coria. 2-1 second set. Former champion, of course, Jean-Marie Villas.
Yes, an Argentinian the only Argentinian, in fact, to have won here. 1977, I believe it was, against Brian Gottfried, the American.
Missed it. Didn't look comfortable either, did it? As Fru was suggesting. Should he take this route, it's not going to be easy for him.
Very uncomfortable position from which to play a volley. He hadn't made room for it. It was just sort of sliding in. Now suddenly to become a volleyer.
You can hear what the crowd made of that forehand.
Yes, he just put so much weight into it. It looks like a misfight at the moment, isn't it? I mean, Henman looks like a heavyweight really against a bantamweight.
Brilliant. The short volley giving Coria no chance to run it down. Not so sure he meant it to be as short as that, but it did the job.
Actually, I retract that. Henman can never look like a heavyweight. He's not built that way, but he's a cruiserweight. He's cruising.
Belief and confidence, you feel, is growing. Mustn't get ahead of himself. Of course not. Nobody must. But after 56 minutes, Coria has wrestled just 4 games, and I don't think anybody would have predicted that.
And his serve has just been such a struggle. I mean, not only has he lost it, but he hasn't won any service game. Those that he has won, Coria, where he's won it comfortably. He's been break points down in every game.
Enjoyable to watch, but I do feel that's playing into Coria's hands at the moment.
Well, the applause for both players here, because this is a stunning volley really by Henman. Against most other people, he might well have won the point.
Oh, I suppose if he chips and charges to that sort of length, you need a magic wand to hit winners off this.
Yes, it's a very difficult shot to dig up and score with, particularly, as I've been pointing out. The backhand really hasn't done a lot other than one he passed and one he lobbed with.
Just long. A few sort of higher kicking bounces, maybe as a result of the extra clay. Yeah, It's a loose sort of shot. I think quite happy there for Coria to hold. Henman still in the ascendancy. Set in 3-2. Welcome back, Tim Henman. Set in a break. 3-2, second set. Second double, and that was a big double.
Of course, he served 3 in one game against Lodra and was down match point in that game. Lodra, a very different style of play. In fact, went to the net more times in the match than did Henman.
Coria looking at the line. It was so deep, but no call, no argument. Just cleans it on the line, the forehand from Henman. I'll never forget Fru. After the Blanco match, Carlo Blanco in the third round, he beat him, the classic clay caller, the Spaniard, 7-6, 6-1, 6-2, and they were shaking hands. Blanco said, "Do I have to pay you for that lesson?" It's been a lesson here almost so far.
Certainly was against Chayla.
Display in the museum here, and super they are too, the drawings.
Yes, Coria would like that sort of touch. Somehow to spin a web for Henman.
Signs like that, no wonder he can't believe it himself, Coria, but it's just feeding Henman's self-belief, surely. He must never relax, never relent. Lanacone on the left. Snatch, just a little. Rushed it.
But it's one of the reasons why Coria was running around the backhand on the previous point here to the left court, chiefly because he's playing that sort of shot, naturally a volley that Henman should have made. But hey, signs of humanity. Volleyed almost perfectly against Chayla in the quarters.
Brilliant wrong footing volley. Again, that step in is such a statement, as it has been throughout the match so far. Extends the lead again. A second 4-2 now.
Seeing him volley like that just reminded me, of course, of Michael Stich, who's been doing some work with us here for Eurosport, who at this stage beat Rosset to get to the final. Also made the semi one other time, lost to Jim Coria. Similar style of player to Henman. Stich lost in the final to Kafelnikov that year. Oh, he's opening batsman material, isn't he, with that hand-eye coordination. Forget the chip and charge, just clock a winner right off.
It's just magnificent, isn't it?
Yes, tactically perfect here, just drawing the man in. He has to play with a single hand, so gets even less pace, and Henman therefore the time to position himself with a lot of shots at his disposal. And Coria just not sure which one he's going to use.
It's a good first serve from Coria. Has to keep it to the single break. And again, and does so. It's a super response from the Argentinian after the superb point at 30-15. 4-3 Henman. It's edge of the seat stuff, isn't it? Men's second semi-final. New balls for Henman. That'll help again. It's a set and a break, 4-3. Super start to the game. There'll be many at home through on British Eurosport thinking, is he going to sustain this, or are we going to get another nerve-wracking match to watch?
Well, I think he can, because I think his general play in these last round and here is at a much higher level than it's been in the past when he's led matches and perhaps not been able to complete them. I think this is a much more complete Henman that we're seeing.
First serve and volley, second serve? Very few anyway. And straight away down at his feet. That'll give him food for thought. Who's Henman coached by? Who does that remind you of?
Wasn't quite the Sampras slam dunk, but it was very effective. I tell you who would have been very impressed with this was Roland Garros, after whom the stadium is named, a French fighter ace in the First World War. Not a tennis player, a rugby player. Well, the cameras would have had that. That's the picture you'll see in many a paper tomorrow, I'm sure. The concentration has been on Henman more than Coria. Let's hope the acrobatics, aerobics haven't broken his concentration a little. I don't think I've ever seen him play an aerial shot like that before.
Big point after the double, 30 all. Yeah, he wasn't going to miss off that. And the vamos to emphasize the point. Break point for the Argentinian. Well played. Under pressure throughout the point. Stayed calm.
And gave himself a bit of time with a bit of a looper there, but Coria had the opportunity, just didn't have the power on the backhand. Had he the same power on the backhand that he had on the forehand, he would have won the point.
Carla Thrakovic, the wife, top right of Coria, of course.
Well, that's what I mean about the difference between the backhand and the forehand. Just able to generate a bit more racket head speed on that side with the one hand, get the angle as well.
Break point again. He's missed it, and there's the break. Something for the Argentinian support group to cheer. And the first real test for Tim Henman. Brilliant. More frustration from Coria. What a pass that was. Clever shot, the loopy one from Coria to get the short ball. But touche.
Yes, even on the forehand, perhaps not getting quite enough angle, Coria, but still a superb reply by Henman, taking the ball on the rise. A man who doesn't have the reach that Henman has. Just 1.75 m of Coria.
That's the one I mean. Almost choosing that he's going to come in before really seeing the serve. Swinging, isn't it, the match?
He's getting a bit more length on the backhand, and certainly with moving forward like that, he's getting just a little bit more of his body into the shot as well, which means that he's hitting it harder. He needs that.
Well played. Measured return. It's good scrambling from Coria.
Yes, and Henman using the bounce smash, realizing that if he got enough bounce on a reasonably hard court, it would pop up beyond Coria's reach. Doesn't often choose to do that, just usually just puts it away.
He's in your face at the moment, isn't he, Coria? He's worked hard. He's recovered from a set and a breakdown. He leads 5-4 in the second. Tension builds. Was a set and a break, Henman. Now he's got a hold serve to stay in the second set. 4-5. Regardless of the outcome of this second set, you feel Henman needs to hold serve here just to stop the roll that Coria is creating. What an overhead off great defence. That was not easy, bearing in mind what's happened in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's a terrific defensive lob, really, by Coria. Henman, even a little off balance here as he smashes this, able to get it and get the power. He's really pretty well unleashing when he does get it. Obviously feeling very strong. So percentage beginning to drop off a bit, though, even though he's still clouting the ball.
He looks so assured on the volley as well, isn't he?
I think that one hung in the air just a little bit. Didn't come to him quite as quickly as he had thought with the spin that Coria imparted.
Big, deep breath there from Henman. He's hiding what he must be feeling so well. Tiring point for Henman. Pillar to post. Super point from Coria.
Didn't he play it well, and didn't panic once Henman had got himself out of trouble. Could well have tried to do a little too much with the forehand.
Read it well, Coria. Almost knew it was going to the forehand. Onto it very quickly. It's been a quick turnaround for the Argentinian. 2 set points to level the match.
Let serve.
Very quiet one, but it was a let. Henman just asking the let court judge if he called it, and I don't think he did through. That's the argument. No. Pascal Maria called it. What's the point in having a let court judge then? The inevitable question.
Well, I suppose for the same reason you have linesman.
Yes.
Henman really was never going to win the argument. Coria's wife didn't want him to either.
Yeah, it's a brilliant play. And Coria fairly sprinting back to the chair. He's turned the second set around, recovered from the breakdown. 4-2, remember it was for Henman. 1 hour, 23 minutes. And this second semi-final is level.
BNP Paribas, official sponsor of Roland Garros.
Interesting happenings at the change of ends from both men as we begin the third set. Another let cord incident. At the change of ends, Coria was the first to speak to Pascal Maria, not to thank him for hearing the let cord, but telling him to make sure the let cord judge does his job. Tim then perked up, saying you were the only one in the entire stadium that heard the let cord. Great time when nobody else hears it to bring that into the play. It's just added a little of extra spice to this semi-final. For Henman's part, of course, he mustn't let it upset him to the point where he could say that was a turning factor.
Yes, looks all right at the moment. He also said to the umpire that the umpires are having a great day, aren't they? As if implying that there had been a few lousy calls in the first match. There's been a terrific effort by Coria. Seemed to me down and very dispirited.
Brilliant. Had choices too, didn't he? The drop shot back, the slice.
It wasn't a good drop shot by Coria. It was too deep. You can see it lands nearer the service line than the net. Just can't resist playing it.
Backhand volley has been so solid. Coria wisely just giving the forehand volley another test, and it comes up short.
Certainly encouraging signs, because for a set and a bit he was volleying as he did against Shayla, almost without error on the volley.
Just lost his touch, hasn't he, at the moment? The momentum very clearly going the way of the Argentinian. 5 games in a row. And it almost reminds you of the match against Ferrero last year, where he played such a brilliant first set to win it. Was competing well in the second. Ferrero just fought hard, didn't panic, got back into it, and was then going away at the end.
I suppose the difference here is that Coria just doesn't quite have the power. Argentinian support for him just doesn't quite have the power that Ferreira has. So he's not likely to stay on top of Henman quite as solidly and as overwhelmingly as can someone like Ferreira, the winner here last year, of course.
Really needs to re-establish himself at the moment, Henman, in this next service game. Love 1. Third set. Brilliant pass. Can't miss at the moment, Coria.
Well, we saw the lob, and this is the shot hit with feeling, that angle that the terrific clay courters can get. Really good control. Coria's never come back from 2 sets of love down, so it was essential, really, that he had to win that second set.
Well read, well adjusted footwork-wise as well from Henman.
Well, continuing to hunt for points down this backhand side of Coria, much as he did against Chaler. Coria's answers are better.
There's no doubt he's reading the serve so much better now. Able to hit better returns.
I think it's just that so much of that load has been lifted. He's thinking more clearly, seeing more lucidly. And that's been one of the big changes. He's just getting a little more emphasis with his two-handed return. Hitting them deeper, and they're both deep and pushing Henman wide. And then able to complete the point with yet another. No great power, but it's just better depth and better pinpointing of the shot.
It's a big dilemma now for Henman, tactically, with Coria in this mood. Break point. It's a forehand volley again. And the roll continues for the 22-year-old. In control at the moment, as Henman was. Coria turned it around brilliantly. Can Henman do the same?
Well, that's a significant loss, of course. Having had 40-15 in the game, the third successive loss of service for Henman. Never really thought that Coria could win this tournament, chiefly because, although he was most people's favorite, because I didn't think he could last 7 matches.
Not conventional, but brilliant nonetheless.
This will certainly give him some satisfaction, having missed a few forehand volleys. But my point about Coria is that I expected him to be on court so much longer. I always had the feeling if he won his matches convincingly, easily, then he had a very good chance of winning it. And of course, so it has been. Only on court for 9 hours.
And inevitably through, I suppose, with the court surface we're playing on. If Coria was to win the third set, overwhelmingly becomes the favourite again, as Henman would on grass at Wimbledon in the same matchup.
And also those extra 4 hours spent then would begin to have a very telling effect. I mean, even as I watch Henman here, I know some of the glow has been lost just because Coria's turned it around a little bit, but he just does not seem quite as sharp. And it's at moments like these that 4 extra hours on court can begin to have an effect.
Better time for the drop. Henman more ground to cover.
I think the perfect time to play, because just as I was saying earlier, Henman would have got to this and made a comfortable shot. But here he's just a little heavy in his approach. Doesn't quite have the control at the end of the run. The breathing isn't quite as solid.
Bit desperate the last shot from Henman, but you've got to admire this man. When you think of his frame of mind in the early part of this match, he's done brilliantly and leads 3-love in the third. Fifth Grand Slam semi-final for Henman, of course. The previous 4 at Wimbledon. So many things he's talked about in terms of trying to go that extra mile. One, he says, that's got in his way before is wanting it too badly. Well, the way this match has swung, and he's now love 3 down in the third, he's got to want it enough. People late coming in. Coria dictating everything at the moment. That is amazing. Coria at his best.
Well, if he doesn't play for Argentina tennis at the Olympics, he can surely do it in the sprinting field. What an amazing get. And not a bad smash either.
Look at the reaction too. Knows it potentially could be a heartbreaker.
Again, that backhand return just pegging Henman back, where earlier it was falling short and he was able to dictate. And there's nothing more Coria likes than to be the man who's the governor out there. Yes, Henman really has to tell himself that he wants it desperately.
You think of the standard of this match in the first 5 or 6 games and compare that to now. High quality tennis. Such is the demands Coria's making of himself right now. He's berating himself for the high return. Ouch. Padding of the jacket helping. Coming off the rails a little, isn't it? Break point. Oof.
She looks a little bit more serene now, doesn't she? That shot of Coria's, incidentally, was going to miss anyway, the sideline. Henman changing his line of attack there. Not trusting the into-out forehand, going cross-court.
So important he holds to get his scoreboard going again. The first game in the last 8 it would be. And also just to give this man something to think about. It's 2 chances now for the double break lead. Henman those opportunities in the second set.
Looking for confirmation and getting it.
Well played. It's worked well for him, hasn't it, that play? As you've kept saying, Fruit. Has to keep his eye on it, though.
Yes, there's a bit of wind up high, but doesn't really seem to have been a factor down low. Sometimes it can really be an upsetter of game plans, can really eddy around here.
They like the matches played at their pace, the Parisians. He's left it, but it's dropped in.
Coria. And it's not often you see him misjudge. But perhaps leaving it and sort of hoping that it was going to land out.
Third break point of the game. He's found the line. Super pickup from Henman, but that simply too good. 8 games in a row now.
And he's moving so lightly across the court, Coria, where earlier on the frown on his brow really looked to be weighing him down. Henman's reaction after that miss, looking a little groggy. Camera on Coria.
They'll be part of Henman now through saying third set's probably gone, so just get free and loose, hit out.
Well, possibly, although all the trouble that Coria had on his serve earlier on, I don't think I would be in that frame of mind. Missed it, I think.
Yeah, just wide. Late call. Maybe the linesman just trying to focus on the mark. Pascal Maria quickly out to confirm it is wide. 9 games in a row. A love game. The last. Coria, 5-love, third set. Quick glimpse of the Eiffel Tower. That wasn't meant to be in Paris long, nor was Tim Henman. He's through to the semi-finals. But for how much longer? Love 5 in the third set. 9 games in a row to the Argentinian. The start of the fourth is going to be crucial. Playing with confidence now, Coria, stepping into that. Such a contrast.
It could just be a state of mind to look at Ion Turiak, one of the great minds of the game, who controlled Guillermo Vilas here when he won in '77 and then became a tournament director. One of tennis's big men. And a very good player himself, too, before he turned coach. Yes, one of the problems, it could be just a state of mind with Henman, of course, is that even when, as on the first point of the game, Coria didn't make a particularly good backhand reply, but Henman's chip then just didn't have the sharpness that it had early on. And as you say, you can almost wish this set goodbye, but he needs that sharpness to return in the fourth.
And as it has been loose for him, and it's going to be tough to find it so quickly. 3 set points for the number 3 seed. That's in the 10th game in a row, and with it the third set by 6 games to love for Guillermo Coria. It's an uphill battle now for the Brit. The clenched fist says it all. It's been all one-way traffic of late. Coria starts the fourth. It's a clean court through. I suppose Tim's looking for a clean start.
Yes, he wants to try and get back to where he was in the first set. The only problem is he doesn't play a bad point here, but as you can see, the confidence now on Coria's side of the net is that much higher that he's able to hit a clean winner off the backhand.
It's racing, isn't it, at the moment?
Suddenly he's won 10 points a row on serve, in a row on serve. And when you think how at one stage he was struggling all over the place.
15.
That's got to be his game plan. He's really got to look to take the play to Coria, try and wrest the initiative from his opponent. Can't afford really to get into extended rallies.
Goes long. The run continues. 11 games in a row now. If Tim Henman doesn't win his opening service game in this set, you'd have to feel the match was over.
Yes, I think the writing would pretty much be on the wall. He finds the French Open a pretty low-key event in terms of the fact that there's not the pressure that there is surrounding his attention at Wimbledon or his presence at Wimbledon. Well, he doesn't want to adopt any sort of low-key attitude here now. It's got to be pinprick sharp. Desire has got to be intense.
He's outfoxing him in all departments now as well. But you get the feeling that Henman's got to rely on his strengths, which he's talked about so much, of course. But again, another point too good.
Yes, he's hit most of those backhands down the line. But he's just hitting them with a little bit more power now, a little bit better timing. Onto that like lightning. Named after Villas, of course, who won here in '77. His father was a great admirer, Guillermo. His father being a tennis coach. Well, where earlier he was playing to Henman's forehand and really getting punished, now he can almost hit there with impunity. Henman not timing the ball as well.
Two break points, but you feel they're much bigger than that. There it is. 12 games in a row, and frustration from Henman. His body language is tired, he looks heavy now. And surely there can't be much left in the tank.
It's extraordinary, isn't it? It must seem to him as if he hasn't won his serve since Par fell off the Eiffel Tower.
He needs something, anything to lift his spirits. Maybe the double fault will offer a lifeline.
Yes, the first since the second set for Coria.
Brilliant. He's in the zone, some would say, Coria. He can do no wrong.
He's playing down that same avenue time after time, isn't he, with the two-hander, just pushing Henman a little bit wider than Henman would like. So Henman's not quite able to get the angle or the spin that he would like on that. And with Coria's anticipation and his speed, just getting there with time to spare. Crowd trying to encourage Tim.
Must be music to the ears of Tim Henman. There's only one player calling the tune at the moment, though. You almost feel Coria has really got to go off the boil for Henman to have any chance.
Well, it might have started right there, but I think he's got the line.
"13 games in a row. 3-love.